So today is Veterans Day, 2019, November the 11th. And it is the hardest day of the year for Larry because he is remembering the soldiers he fought with who didn't make it home. And it's hard to remember the things he's done. And Larry, we just want to say thank you for your service, sir. From the time you first went to Vietnam or went into boot camp until your current service, with all you're doing for our country, I know I've already been told to please make sure that we say thank you, Larry. I hope you guys enjoyed that sneak peek.
Well, I'm trying to work, oddly enough, believe it or not, for a minute. All right, folks, here we are. Monday. What's happened? Anybody know what's happened?
Well, the president spoke at the parade this morning and gave a very appropriate speech.
There is a book coming out by an unknown author, which is tearing up the Democrat progressives conspiracy angle. Because in this book...
Hang on, Larry, is that the book Anonymous?
Yes, Anonymous. It is hitting hard at President Trump. Then you've got the book by
Nikki.
Who?
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley, her book. Now in her book, she makes reference to, I have not read either one of them. I've not seen much of them other than what's just been on the news. She makes reference to the fact that General Kelly, supposedly came to her concerned about President Trump's mental state. She also tells of Rex Tillerson coming. Same thing. They're exploring the idea of maybe we better get rid of this guy because he's mentally unstable. Now, folks, I've known Kelly for a long time. Know him. He's not one of my best bosom buddy friends, but we speak, we know each other. Of all his flaws and of all his faults, being disloyal to the commander-in-chief or to this country is not one of them, or two of them. It's not. It's not. I don't see him putting something like this out. I just don't. I'm sorry. Now, the way they've got it in pro football today, you know, there's not much team sport in pro football. Now it's all individuals. Well, it's the same thing with politics around the White House today. Everybody's individuals working for themselves, right? Not for the country.
Or a small segment will work together.
Yep, small segment. But my point to all of this is just another one of the things I have told y'all and promised y'all was going to come by Adam Schiff. Every week, there's going to be a new weird scandal somewhere, somehow. It's going to come out. And of course, it's not going to be able to be verified either. It just can't be. I mean, guys, we are in trouble. Now, I'm going to also let you know I have been up all night And I'm just about as tired as a human being can be. So forgive me if I sound a little run down, because I am run down. They're going to keep on going after President Trump, just on and on and on again. And they're never going to bring to conclusion some of the accusations that were made against the president. Accusations that are designed to do one thing and one thing only, and that's to hurt President Trump. And then the thing that really irks me is they don't give a hoot and tinker's damn about Donald Trump. They don't. The deep state does not. They don't care about President Trump, not in the least. That's why they'll go back and dig up any and everything they can from years and years and years just to try to drag something out that can cause controversy for about a week. Then that'll play out and they'll hit another one. Do y'all see that now? Do you understand that now? Can that be fairly well laid to rest, that everybody should know this is happening? Now, this inquiry, the trial, yes, it's coming. They're going to have this supposed open hearing to get to the inquiry, to set up this thing of impeachment. But already, that's proven out not to be true either. The Republicans have requested some, I'm going to say, I think it's like 15 people to testify. So 15. And Adam Schiff has called out 8 of them. So you see, the Republicans don't get to call witnesses to their case or to substantiate President Trump's case. They don't get to call witnesses unless they're proved by Adam Schiff. What a rigged game, right? What a rigged ball game. Then I find out something that scares me more than Adam Schiff, believe it or not, and the games he's played. Ladies and gentlemen, I found out yesterday, I think I even brought it up here a little bit. George Soros is now starting to fund prosecutors and other down ballot tickets, races, candidates. Down ballot prosecutors. What on earth is that? What does that mean? What's that got to do with this whole mess? It's got everything to do with it. In the first part, it says to me, and I have run it past a couple of people that I trust and know to see if they got the same inference that I did. But it is saying that Soros and his ilk and Schiff to them, they believe they have got it won. They believe they've got Trump and he's on his way out. They do. So now they're coming around and doing exactly what we did in Arkansas. To the T, to the letter, exactly what we did in Arkansas. Coming around and bankrolling prosecutors, judges, sheriffs, local race type. And you know what? When you control the prosecutor in a county, when you control the judge in a county, when you control the sheriff in a county or whatever, you know what? You control the county. And anybody that might want to bring something out, some crime that, let's say, an Adam Schiff would commit, Well, if it's in that district, guess what? You got to go to the prosecutor of that district to get them to prosecute it. And obviously, company-owned prosecutors, when I say company-owned, that's just a term we used to use. Prosecutors that are owned by someone will prosecute only those cases that the people that funded their campaign and got them where they are, they'll only prosecute what the backer says, the sugar daddy, what the sugar daddy tells them to do. So you could have, theoretically, you could have Adam Schiff walking downtown California, wherever he's from, shooting a kid right in the head, in front of everybody, right downtown. But if he controls the prosecutor, if he controls the sheriff, if he controls the judge, ain't nothing going to happen to him. It'll go down this way. The sheriff's going to look into the case, being that he is owned by the same people that own Schiff. The sheriff's going to look into the case. He's going to go to the prosecutor, and he's going to tell the prosecutor, I really don't see anything, even though there's evidence everywhere. They got a video of him walking up and shooting somebody in the head. Think about it. So he says, I don't think there's enough evidence. Then the prosecutor puts out a press release and says that they're not going to prosecute. Or he may say, we're going to prosecute, but we're not going to prosecute first-degree murder. We're going to prosecute, say, third-degree manslaughter, which is basically a cut above misdemeanor. And then, knowing when the trial and all of that stuff dies down because it's over, it's been rigged, he's getting by with it, on down the way, before the case is disposed of, the judge will surprisingly just dismiss it. And boom, there you have what we fondly refer to in Arkansas as an Arkansas scenario. How do you like that? Soros, who has vowed, he has pledged every cent he has on this planet Earth to destroy capitalism, our form of government, our way of life. And now he's got enough money. He's in with other power people. And you know what? They're going to do it. They're going to do it themselves. They're just going to get in and they're going to take over. They're going to take over, and there's not much you can do about it. Now that's trying to prosecute somebody. Let's take another example, one I think I told y'all yesterday, but I'll do it again. Let's say you're one of the lovely women in this audience, and you have a beautiful young daughter, 15 years old. The prosecutor sees your daughter, and you know what? Decides that he must have her. Not to marry, not to fall in love with, just to have, you know what. Well, of course, the girl says no. Of course, the dad of the girl gets involved and has to go tell him, no way, you're going to take our daughter by yourself out in some camper somewhere. It's not going to happen. Well, it does, because he's the prosecutor, you see. So he's going to politely inform the father that if you don't make her available to whomever the prosecutor chooses to make her available to, that he will prosecute the father for something, not even knowing what it would be yet, but they'll find something. And that they will destroy him, his family, and they will put him in jail. He will go to jail. That, my friends, is how it works in Arkansas. That also, my friends, is how it works in Venezuela now and other socialist communist countries. It's how it works. The system. Now, is that the system you want, any one of you? And yes, I'm kind of it's not a bad mood, it's a bad mood. Did I say that right? It's not a bad mood, it's a bad mood. Today is the day once a year that I dread to see come. It's a day when, for some reason, it started long ago. I just close my eyes and see people that are gone now, that died fighting for you and me, for us. Died for us. And I don't believe there's a one of those people that died in D-Day, the Alamo, at Fallujah, and any of these. I don't think there's a person on earth that would believe our soldiers would go through such a hellish ordeal, simply to get us to where we are today with our country. I don't think they would, given a choice. Given a choice. So I hurt. I hurt, and I hurt more because I know what's coming with the prosecutor trick with Soros. I know what's coming. I'm not Q Bub or whatever. I'm not any of these conspiracy alt radio guys on the internet. I'm not. My God, folks, I lived it. I did it. I did it to people. And I see half of this country right now, half of it, that has been so socially engineered from the first day they set foot in school until the last day when they got out. Like socially engineered to buy the fairy tale of socialism and to spread the word of how bad capitalism is. It hurts. But we're going to win. We're going to win. Now, I know you're sitting there saying, Larry, there's some of that crazy talk. We're going to win. How do you know we're going to win? Well, how does anybody know anything? Well, maybe I'd support you more, or I would support the program more, et cetera, if I knew we were going to win, but it looks awfully hopeless to me. Well, there's no guarantee we're going to save this country. You know that, don't you? There's no guarantee. We don't control that, you and I. But what we do control is us. Will we fight to keep us free? That's the question. Will we fight to keep us free? Will we fight and lay our lives on the line? Will we fight and lay our possessions, our property on the line to save this country that we were so blessed to be born in? Are we all in? Are we all in for the fight, or are we all done?
Please answer, folks. Put it in the chat. You all in, or are you done?
Hey guys, I'm telling you. I've told you, and I've told you, and I've told you, and most of y'all believe and know, and you're here for the right reasons. Most of you, I know that. But we got to go harder. We got to get tougher. We got to get tougher. or we lose it all.
Well, we've got Jesse, I'm all in. Cindy, all in. C. Jacobs, all in. Lisa, all in. James, we're in 200%. Oops, it just scrolled up. HSS, all in. Don's in. Passionate horsemen never give up, will win. Somebody's in England. We'll fight without fear. Remember, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. Suzanne is all in. Jack's in. God put Trump in the White House. It's such a battle.
Well, let me tell you guys, if you're in England, Australia, Japan, you may think this is an American issue, but it is not.
Mm-hmm.
It is not. They know America is the key. America is the key to taking over global power. America is. So as soon as they can close the door on us, they will move post hastily, and they will close the door on every country in the world. Everyone. There'll be nothing to do. And it's something.
Thanks, guys. It's really nice to see some men's voices in here saying I'm all in. Thank you.
Good. Well, it's nice hearing men's voices, period, today. Men. Real men. Real men. All right, Mary Ellen, we got any questions?
Well, James is still frustrated that with all this treason, why can't the white hats in the military arrest them? So we go over this every day. It's just not the way it's done, James. So it's just not the way it's done.
And once again, I will address this one more time for James and for everybody listening. The president, you, me, us, we can't do anything. We cannot. The only person with the power to actually go and arrest these people, these elitists, is the Attorney General. That's it, Attorney General. Now, it's not as easy even for the Attorney General as you may think. He must have all of his ducks in a row. He must have all his I's dotted and T's crossed. He must. Because he's going to be going after the biggest crime network in the history of our nation, probably in the history of the world. And if we say to heck with it, and what we just need to do is we just all need to say to hell with it, load up our guns and just go lock the doors and catch them out somewhere and grab them ourselves and maybe even hang them, whatever you want to do with them. If we do that, then we're as guilty as they are. It doesn't matter if they abolish our Constitution or if we do. It doesn't matter. If we step on the Constitution, then it's over anyway. It's over. What you got?
Tamara says we have to beat them at their own game. Enough of this. They need to be exposed so they don't destroy our president.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
yes.
Some people have heard what was I told you about this morning that I also heard. Are they going to start any update on the shooting in Mexico? Are we going to send the Marines down there to fight the cartels?
right, anybody else?
Well, he was asking, do you have any update on that?
I have what? I couldn't hear you. It's raining and stormy here.
Oh, sorry. Do you have an update on the people that were killed in Mexico, and are we sending in the Marines to go do
What I can say is, do not be surprised if what you hear or have heard is not totally accurate. What you have heard to this point is not totally accurate or not totally complete. And no, we are not sending Marines into that country. Not yet. Now, technically, the way that is supposed to work, we have to receive an order from the president of Mexico requesting that we come in that way.
And
we received no such request. What?
I heard that he has said that he can handle it and he doesn't need us.
Yeah, well, that's his opinion.
Yep.
But I think with 100,000 people in the past year, thereabouts, I may have exaggerated that number some, but about 100,000 people in the past year having been murdered, I would say I doubt they got their handle on anything. What you got?
When you were talking about Tillerson and Kelly in the beginning, somebody asked about Bannon's relationship with the president.
T. Bannon?
Yes, sir.
It is not as it is not as cold a relationship as they would have us believe. Now, Bannon's not in his inner circle anymore. He's not. But President Trump still recognizes the talents that Bannon has. And by the way, no, Steve Bannon isn't the author of Anonymous, the book, nor is Bolton. He's not. Nor is Kelly. Now, Tillerson, who knows? Maybe it is him. But I'm going to tell you a plot that I think. Now, this is my opinion, guys. My opinion. You might want to get a piece of paper and write this down. Because it's going to show you my hypothetical or what I believe my opinion, how it connects to everybody. All right? Number one. Who do I think wrote the book? Whatever it's called.
Anonymous?
Anonymous, yes. Who wrote it? In my opinion, the author of that book is Adam Schiff.
That makes sense.
Adam Schiff, don't laugh. I'm serious. I'm extremely serious. I believe it to be Adam Schiff. Once again, if you watch the patterns, right? Watch a person's patterns. Watch what they do. Don't pay much attention at all to what they say. Look at what they do. Now we know Schiff has already once before with the whistleblower. We know he has composed the story the whistleblower supposedly came and told, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Apparently this whistleblower, that's not a whistleblower because he never heard anything and he only talked to he didn't even talk to the person that was on the call that heard it. He talked to a person that was 3 or 4 different runs down from the actual phone call. Then we find out that Adam Schiff not only said he didn't know him, But we found out he knew him and had actually talked to him and had recommended him take it to legal people there in the Capitol. He wrote it. He wrote that statement from the whistleblower. Now you know why he has to have the whistleblower disappear. You gotta have him disappear. That whistleblower can't take a lot of scrutiny, and he knows it. They know it. They know it. So they would rather be scoffed at for not turning over the whistleblower in this open hearing so that the Republicans can address issues about his story. They'd rather make him disappear so he can't be contacted. Cannot be questioned. Then you've got the same pattern all over again. Again, the same pattern with this book called Anonymous. Here's a book written by somebody that we don't even know who it is, and it's deemed somewhat credible because the mainstream media is already talking about it. They're talking about it. It's already credible. And it's also gone out to the same programs, MSNBC, CNN, all of the same people that they used to put out the quid pro quo story. Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff.
That just makes too much sense.
Well, I'm not in the business of worrying about what it makes sense or it doesn't. I'm in the business of trying to ascertain the truth. These charges against President Trump through this whistleblower, this was worked out weeks ago before we ever even heard of it. Before we ever even heard. So, anybody else got a question? Right quick.
Somebody wondered if Kelly was trying to find out who had allegiance to the president by his approach to Nikki Haley, whether she would undermine or not.
Unbelievable. What else you got, Marilyn?
Yeah, did you hear my comment about Kelly? Okay, somebody was wondering if Kelly asking Nikki Haley to help undermine the president, if he was actually hunting for whose allegiance was in the bag for the president, who was going to be loyal or not.
I don't know. I have no way of knowing that.
All right. Somebody is asking why are Hannity, Ingram, and Tucker promoting Tulsi Gabbard, and won't that take votes away from Trump?
Well, once again, I can't tell you why they're doing what they do. I just can't.
Okay, Brenny's asking, what are the requirements to be a member of the House?
You've got to be, I think the age is 18 or 21, whatever the minimum age is, and you cannot be a felon, and you must live in the district that you're running in.
And pay the fee to file.
Pay a filing fee, yes.
Yeah, you can. All you have to do, Brenny, is go to your Board of Elections. You can find it online, and they will give you the requirements for that. Ouch! Sorry, something just flew in my eye. We used to know, and we talked about it a couple of years ago before the 2018, but I have forgotten what the details were. And it's gonna, because it's federal. Will the requirements vary from state to state, or is it a national determination?
It's national.
Okay. So it'll be the same for everybody.
Yeah.
So Jane is saying Trey Gowdy is now outside counsel for Trump with the impeachment hearings. He's not on the team yet, is he?
Yes.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay. I thought it was going to wait till January.
Well, now I don't know how they listed him. If they're listing him, I mean, yes, he's on the team.
Okay.
Done. Fait accompli. It's done. When they announce it, when he officially joins it, I don't know. But I am not excited about him being on the team myself. Me, I'm not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Is it strange that Kellyanne Conway's husband repeatedly trashes Trump?
I don't like it, but that's something we don't have any control over. Nothing.
Free speech. Okay, somebody asked, why are the Democrats attacking Zuckerberg? Yeah, they had a Facebook.
Why are the Democrats attacking what?
Zuckerberg, the head of
No.
Facebook.
It's just a show. It's just a fake show. That's all it is. It's fake. Looks like they're out to get him, but then look at anything anybody has done from the government towards Facebook or any of them. Nothing. They've done nothing. But in the interest of keeping their constituents happy and to make it look like they're not on the take, then they talk all huff and puff and claim they're going to blow their house down, but they don't ever blow. What else?
So Jane's wondering why Trey Gowdy is not good for Trump's impeachment hearings.
James, it's my opinion. My opinion. I don't trust him. I do not trust Trey Gowdy. Now, there have been a couple of occasions where he voted differently than all of you. Someone around him brags that he has, as a prosecutor, he's never lost a case. Well, that grades on me. Because if you're a prosecutor and you prosecuted any number of cases, you're going to get one that you're going to lose unless you're willing to stoop to withholding evidence from the court, exculpatory evidence, etc. I don't trust him. But that's my opinion. What else?
Yeah, Brendy's asking more questions about filing to become a congressman. Can the average Joe file? In 2016, Larry was begging truck drivers, waitresses, anybody who's not a lawyer or a witch to, whoops, we just lost Larry, to file. And the way to do it is to contact your Board of Elections in your state. And yeah,
I still am.
Hey,
I still am. Yeah. Mary Ellen.
You gotta know. Yeah, you're here.
I still am begging. Really, I'm begging. Run. People, run. We've got to have candidates. We've got to.
Biggie is asking, but let's talk a little more before I get to the next question. We want ordinary people to run. Our founding fathers said the only people who should not run is lawyers and witches. They wanted ordinary people to go in, stay one term or at the most two, and go home. No retirement, none of all this extra stuff. It's become a career. That is not what our founding fathers intended for it to be. So we want new people to come, and remember, the most important race to begin with is the primary, to knock the incumbent out. But it is possible. You need to talk to people about what the founding fathers told us we needed to have. And these incumbents that have been career politicians are not what our founding fathers ever intended for us. And look at what's going on. Look what's come out about Biden and Hunter Biden, Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, and Kerry and his kids, and the list goes on and on. That is part of your campaign now. Look at this corruption going on. We need new people, fresh blood, who are going to go in and serve the country and serve constituents.
That is true. That is right. And right now, up here right now, we've got people that are going to die. They're going to die. Americans are going to die because criminals are coming across our southern border, and they're going to fool around, and they're going to kill more Americans. And those deaths will fall squarely on the members of Congress that are doing nothing. Why can't we get regular people? This is the year, like 2016, 18. This is the year when you can run with no money. As long as you're not the incumbent, there's a good chance people will vote for you just because you're not the incumbent. We'll go into all that later. This is not the show to do it on, but yeah, run. Run. We need you to run.
Yeah.
What else?
Pam is wondering if you have people infiltrating Schiff and the deep state operations. I think that's not something you'd be able to admit if you did.
Mm-mm. Cannot talk about that. If I did, I wouldn't tell you. And anyway, just don't worry. Can't talk about that.
Jane asks about the Freemason network inside governments. What do you say about that?
Well, it certainly has a presence there. I do not know the depth of the Freemasons anymore. I don't know. I just don't know, but they are there. They're there. And it's not good that we have an organization like that, as far as I know, but now I'm not a person that knows that much about the Freemasons. I'm just telling you, it's potentially bad. Potentially bad, that's my opinion. What you got?
Are we having any, are we bringing forth any books? We have talked about having some handbills like the Common Sense that Thomas used to put out. We've talked about doing that. Larry's been on the phone so many hours every day. Like you said, 24 hours last night again, just like 10 days ago. And he's just working so very hard.
Guys, I would love to sit back and do a book, but it's just a matter of time, number one, and number two, I just don't have the money. I don't have the money. You say, well, it doesn't cost much money. It doesn't matter if it costs a lot or a little, don't have it.
And we don't even have money to print off a couple hundred, whatever. I mean, the only thing that we could do that would not cost anything would be the blog on the website. Do you want to say anything about the potential for a new video?
No.
Okay. Do you have any information on who the traitor in the White House might be leaking information?
No, not that I can say. Not that I can say. Forgive me. I just had to think about that.
So Tamara's wondering how the Supreme Court can allow anything against the Constitution because it's unlawful.
Well, the trick with the Supreme Court is timing. Timing. Everything in your life and mine is going down in November of 2020 come election night. The future of our country is on the line that night. That night. So all this other stuff, to me, getting to the Supreme Court with some of these various issues, that can come. But before we get to that point, we need to try to take our country back. We need to try to save our nation. Then we can divide up if you choose to. So there.
Yeah, Linda, I know about print on demand at Amazon. We just, we have to Larry has to have time to think and come up with some ideas of what to do first. And, we have to get something written up first and then decide what to do and how to do it. Do you know Joe DeGeneva and his wife?
Yes. Good people. Tough, but good people.
So that's all we've got so far.
All right, since we're out of questions, here's what I need again today. I need your help. I was up all night last night. As soon as I get off, I've got to get back into another meeting. And I need y'all to help me. I do. Is there not one person out there, all of you, is there any one person that could maybe today in a hurry send like $1,000 PayPal? Is there?
I'm putting Larry's PayPal account in right now into the chat. It's Nichols live@AOL.com.
There are things that I'm going to have to tell y'all tomorrow pertaining to the hearing that's going to go on Wednesday, if it goes on, if they have it. But it's going to leave me, once again, with what I can and can't say. So I've got to be careful. But I'm going to try to give y'all stuff tomorrow that'll help you as you're talking to people about what's fixing to transpire in this bogus open hearing that they're having Wednesday.
Okay, James doesn't understand if we take them out, how we're no better than them when we were given the Second Amendment to protect us from a tyrannical government.
Now say that again, please.
Yeah, if we take them out, you said if we take them out, we're no better than them. I don't understand.
Right.
Isn't that why we were given the Second Amendment, to protect us from a tyrannical government?
The Second Amendment was established by our founding fathers for two purposes. And if you've had the luxury I have of reading actual letters and things from the gentlemen themselves in the day, you'll learn that there's two things that Second Amendment's there for. Number one, we are to maintain and keep a well-regulated militia. It was incumbent on the founders that we face the truth. The truth is that Britain's not going to just turn around and go back. You know, we've got to face the truth that we've got to fight. You got it? We've got to fight. Britain ain't, I mean, it sounds crazy, but we've got to fight to keep what we've got. And so our founding fathers said that they didn't want us to have a big government like Britain, like England. They didn't want us to have a big government. They wanted a small government. And in the interest of maintaining a small government, we couldn't afford a big time like England standing army. So therefore they put in that we are to maintain a well-regulated militia around our homes, to defend, to be ready to defend this nation at just a moment's notice. That's number one. Number two, they define what they gave us, not in there, but in the letters they talk about the things they gave us to protect our country, and it wasn't the Second Amendment. They gave us 3 bullets: our voices collectively, and our vote. And that's what Franklin and the boys were talking about. That's what you have to be able to do. You have to be ever vigilant to do just that. So we have a right through the Second Amendment to protect and defend our homes, our lives, our property, and our country through the Second Amendment. But that does not mean we can run up and down the street, take our guns out, and just start shooting or arresting people based off of our opinion of them. There has to be jurisprudence. There has to be trial. So it's a complex system when you get down to it. It sounds simple. It is simple, but it's complex. What you got, Mary Ellen?
Yeah, Tamara's, concerned why the Supreme Court can't step in when the Constitution is being stepped on, but things have to go up through the court system to the court. They don't just
Right.
from the get-go.
Yeah, this is not, look, the United States of America is not some high school social club. It's not. Sounds like it right now with Schiff and the way he does things. I know that's what we seem like, but we're not. We have to follow the Constitution, and so do the Supreme Court justices have to follow the Constitution. So don't wish for things that we don't need to be wishing for, because those are the things that we'll probably get.
Yeah,
Our uniqueness is our strength, and our strength and uniqueness comes from the fairness that our founding fathers set up, and the way at every angle they could imagine back then, they tried to protect that freedom. Today, we've got Adam Schiff, the Democrats, Soros. We got all those people trying to take it from us. They're trying to take your freedom away from you.
Rosebud.
Is there anybody out there? Is there not someone that could send 1,000? Huh? Please, I paid way more than that. Mary Ellen paid way more than that. Several people have paid more than that. I've got work to do. I've got to do it tonight. And as y'all can tell, I'm so tired. I can't even hardly keep my eyes open. What you got, Mary Ellen?
XRP says why, but I'm not sure why what he's asking why about.
Oh, why do I need 1,000?
I don't know.
To pay the stuff that I've got to pay.
Yeah, it's what he needs for his treatment today, folks. When he has pushed himself this hard, it takes extra treatment to keep him going.
What
So,
else? What you got?
did you ever address why Hannity, Ingram, and Tucker are promoting Tulsi Gabbard? Is that going to take votes away from Trump?
No. No.
Donald says, it sounds like the founding fathers didn't take into account corrupt judges.
Well, if they made, and I don't want a backseat quarterback that our founding fathers ever, but if there was an area that might be a little odd or possibly messed up, it would be the judicial system. But they really didn't do that either, because they didn't want us ever to allow barristers or attorneys to get into our government. They knew back then that lawyers don't add anything to our country. They don't grow nothing. They don't make nothing. They don't build nothing. They don't produce nothing. All they do is intercede between two people, one taking from, the other trying to keep from paying. It's what they do, or in criminal court, of course. What else?
Why do they want our freedom?
Because they want to rule the world. Why going back to Jesus' day? Why going back all the way to the beginning of the Bible? Why have people wanted to rule the world? I don't know. It's not something I would aspire to do. But there are people that are so power hungry, so involved in all of this, that's all they want. That's what they want.
Can 10 people send $100 or 20 people send 50?
Yes, but you got to do it fast. And we always say 10 people at 100, we don't get but 1 or 2. You hear my voice, guys. I'm literally, just literally in trouble.
Yeah, he really is. What do you think of Sidney Powell and Flynn as Flynn's attorney? What's she going to be able to do?
I hope she can get his judgment set aside, and I think there's a good chance now that she can.
Yeah, sounding good.
All right, Marilyn, I've got to go. I can't breathe.
Yeah, I get it. Thanks, Larry. Thank you.
All right, guys. Remember, tomorrow I'll be on with Jason first, unless there's something different than back here.
So look for the, yeah, thanks, Larry, but I'll say something. Look for the title to this program for tomorrow, because I will always put in the title what the schedule is for us versus what happens with Jason. Normally, Jason starts at 3 Eastern, 2 Central. If Jason changes that, or Larry's too sick to do both or something, then I will change the title so you know to come here. The ruling elite want to bring in the New World Order, and they want to be the power mongers. They want to be the central committee of the communist government that is coming to our country. And folks, if you just, I wish we knew what Larry was doing, because on the other hand, if we're too poor to give even $1, then it's knowing what he's doing wouldn't make any difference. He has a very high security clearance for whatever he is doing. He's told us that, and that's not anything that any beans I'm spilling there. Jason Goodman is at Watchers. Jason Goodman is on YouTube. He's also, his program is also Crowdsource the Truth. And Larry does an interview with him every Tuesday. The phone bill was $201 and some cents, Tamara. it's more important to help Larry with his medical bills right now than worrying about my having money to pay the phone bill. We will get it done in one way or another. Larry needs the help more than anything else. So folks, I haven't seen anybody say they can do anything or they can match or anything like that. That's really problematic because we had a couple people who just can't do it anymore. They have done thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, sometimes $1,000 a day for weeks on end. And I thank God so much for the people who have done that. But right now we're at a point where we're dependent on us who are here, right here. I sent something over the weekend and I can't do any more. I had to pay the phone bill for Larry, and I've got to keep the lights on here. And it's turning cold, so we got ice and snow and sleet and everything tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to that, folks. So please send what you can. And I've got a guest here right now I need to take back to DC. We're going to go down and pray. We do have a conference call at 9 tonight. The description about it, the phone number for it is in the description box right underneath here. Please make sure you announce yourself when you join. It's really upsetting to everybody on the call not to know who's there. It's disappointing not to see anybody able to do anything, but I understand those of us that are in the chat, probably can't. But what you can do is you can share the video wherever you can, email it to people, put it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and let people know about it. And you can talk to people about what you're learning here and ask other people to help. Yeah, Watcher, I know a lot of us, it's really issue. Investigator, you need to call me. The phone number for me is right underneath the video here. Let me put in a phone number. So if you're having trouble donating through PayPal, give me a call. If you need some other ideas, nicholslive.com. I'm going to put that here, nicholslive.com. Of course, that's in the description box below here. Nicholslive.com has a direct link to Larry's PayPal. Thanks, Deborah. Thank you very, very much. We need people to match that $25. If Old Soul, text me and let me call you back and let's figure out what happened. And I can walk you through the PayPal, the website. Share this video. Yes, James. Share all the videos that Larry's doing every day. Nicholslive.com has a direct link to Larry's PayPal. It has his mailing address to send cash in the mail only. If you need to send a check, you need to send it to me. Make it out to me, and you need to text me so I can give you my address and my full name. And then you put Larry's name down in the memo. Don't make the check out to him. My bank will not allow me to cash it, and then it's just as bad as if you send it to Larry. So do what you can. I need to go down to DC. We are going to, a couple of us are going to go down and pray and plead the blood over all the nonsense that's going on right now. So thanks for being here. We'll talk tomorrow. And again, please do whatever you can to help. Thanks. Bye.